Hey, it's Kirk. Well, the numbers are in. It's Wednesday, May 10th, and we've got all the sales numbers here so far this year, and we're well into the spring market. Things are moving along. The market is hot, and which is defying the expectations from a few months ago, and we're seeing some changes. So it does look like prices are on the move up again, and I want to get into the indicators that are pushing that market, as well as how we can predict moving forward. So today for Parksville, Qualicum Beach, there's a total of 305 active listings for sale. Now, when we look back over a 10-year average, last 10 years, the average inventory is about 650 properties. So we're sitting at less than half of the 10-year average for active listings. So that's factor number one when it comes to supply. Demand is also quite strong. So current closed and pending for the last 30 days was 113 units. So the numbers that I use is months of inventory. That's the true indicator, and why I think that it's the best indicator when trying to predict and see where prices are moving. So what we do is we take the total number of active listings, 305, divide it by the number of closed and pending in the last 30 days, and that gives us a number of 2.7 months of inventory. And what that tells us is if no new listings came onto the market, it would take 2.7 months to sell out all of the existing inventory. Now, to give a frame of reference as to what that number means, in a seller's market, we're looking at less than 4 months of inventory. So 0 to 4 months of inventory is a seller's market. Obviously, the lower the number, the stronger the market. From 4 to 6 months of inventory is typically balanced market, and greater than 6 months of inventory is going to be a buyer's market. So again, to give a bit of frame of reference when it comes to months of inventory, over the last 10 years, it's had a wide range. From back in 2013, we were as high as 11.2 months of inventory. At that time, there were 1,281 active listings. So 4 times the amount of listings we have today, and definitely a buyer's market when properties were adjusting back then in price. Today, we're looking at 2.7 months of inventory. And when we go back over the last year, looking at months of inventory, again, we were above 6 through last fall and into the winter. Months of December and January, as well as October, were all above 6 months inventory, which pushed us into a buyer's market, where we saw prices coming down. Also through the year 2021, we were below 2 months of inventory for most of that year, and that's when we saw the huge increases up until spring of 2022. So right now, since February, so March and April, we moved below 4 months of inventory, and we've seen prices going up. So what does it look like moving forward? And as long as this month of inventory, the supply remains low and the demand remains high, we're likely to see prices increase, even though interest rates have increased. So with the changes in the rate of sales and supply, so with sales being strong, we're looking at that moving forward. List to sale ratio is 97.7%. That is the list price to sale price. So 2.3% is what's being negotiated, which also indicates a strong market. 23 days on market, so for the month of April, so in Parksville, Qualicum area, 23 days was the average time that it took to sell a home, also indicating a very strong market. I had a lot of people asking some comments to my last video when I was giving predictions that market prices were likely to continue moving up. People doubted what I was saying. However, the numbers don't lie, and that's why I wanted to go over these numbers in a little bit more detail just to say what I'm seeing. So yes, 2.7 months of inventory means prices are going up. And why is that a factor even though interest rates have gone up? So one thing that interest rates don't do is they don't create more housing. And as immigration continues to be a strong factor in the Canadian economy, as well as retirees moving west, I think that the demand is going to remain. So the other thing is that high interest rates mean high inflation, and your best bet in a high inflation environment is to own real estate. So in real estate, I think moving forward, even if rates go higher, prices could very well continue higher at the same time as this demand. People need places to live, and it appears that there are more people than there are houses. So just to give some numbers, and let's talk about immigration for a minute as far as Canada goes. So for 2023, the target immigration number for new immigrants coming into Canada is 465,000. For 2024, the number increases to 485,000, and in 2025, they're projecting 500,000 new immigrants. So, and these are big numbers, definitely going to keep pressure on housing across Canada. So this is regardless of the economy, whether we go into recession or not, this demand, people are going to need places to live. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Secondly, and which directly affects us here on the island, especially the Parksville Qualicum area, is the baby boomers that are retiring. And currently, I looked up the numbers, so RBC had a really good report. So in Canada right now, there are 5,000 per week who are hitting retirement age. That's 714 people per day. And they're anticipating that that number will increase over the next 5 years as well to about 5,500 per week, or 785 per day. Now, of that group, not all of them are going to move to the island. However, they estimate that about 10% of retirees are in a position where they're financially secure, where they have their home paid for and money in the bank. And so those are the buyers that we're looking at that are moving out here. So with those demographics, we're going to continue to see demand. There was an interesting article that I also was reading yesterday where they were talking about reverse snowbirds, where Americans are actually looking to retire in Canada, where especially in the warmer states in the Sun Belt, where it's hot in the summer. So they're purchasing property in Canada to spend 6 to 8 months here and then spending the winters there. So they call it the reverse snowbird effect. But so it's going to, there's a number of factors that are going to continue to keep demand on our properties here. And I think Parksville, Qualicum area as a whole island and BC in general is going to continue to benefit as far as higher real estate prices for that. If you have any questions, want to get into it more detail, I've got a lot of numbers and stats and charts that I won't bore you with, but can definitely talk further about why prices are likely to continue up. I'll keep you updated on this months of inventory because that's the number that I watch every week to see what the market is likely to do. But for now, yeah, prices are on the rise. That will continue. You can go check out my website and read my blog. We've got a lot of extra information on there regarding the market and investing in real estate. Remember to please subscribe, like, and comment on the video. I'd love to hear your thoughts, whether you agree or disagree, and we can talk about that. And that's it for now. Thank you.